drill at the end there seemed to be a spirit of the group type of exercise.
Yeah, playing in small areas,
Yeah.
trying to let them make plays. As I said last night, it's we've had a little bit of struggle making plays. Our offensive guys I think are tight. Tried to move the blood and let them have some fun today.
Any more thought on that as you head to the road here on getting the offense?
Going to try to get better. Each day we're going to try to get better. Not going to pick it apart and talk about it a whole bunch. We're going to try to get better each and every day.
And not overhaul it, just...
No, we're a good team.
John, you've had Scott Harrington out on the ice quite a bit in recent games. What do you like about what he's doing and with Kyle Quincy?
Yeah, he's improved as we've gone along here. He's, I think, a lot of the extra practice time and the extra stuff with Kenny, kind of a lonely job, being out as much as he was. He took that time to try to make himself a better player, and he's pushing to get in the lineup. Come playoff time here, I've got to make a decision there sooner or later here, and he's done some really good things. And as you always talk about Harry, he's an easy guy to pull for because he just competes. He's a trier. So positioning's been good. He's done a good job.
It seems like when he and Kyle are out there, it's kind of high event hockey. Do you like seeing that from them?
Yeah. They some different things go on at certain times, but they both compete hard. And I think that's the most important thing. We're trying to work on our coverages where we're trying to be more physical. We're trying to get the first guy to make a decisive decision. And I think the rest of our coverage works off of that first man. First man is usually the defense in a corner, starting the defense within our coverage. He's pretty good at that. It's something I'm trying to get Nudie to understand better when Nudie's in there. So those two guys, as we go along, Nudie's going to play. I think that's where it comes down to maybe making a decision there as far as what we're going to be, but we'll let the games play out and see where we go.
Is it nice to see Quincy get on the score sheet as well, see that side of his game?
Yeah, and it was actually a shot, the one he assisted on the other night. I don't know what that was, but I look at the highlight. I'm not sure why I'm saying it, but I look at the Buffalo player when the shot's coming, and did you see it was hysterical? It was all, and he's not a soft player. Yeah. He's not afraid, but it's just a reaction. Holy shit, here it comes. And, so a big goal for us. So Quince has come in and kind of joined in. I think is beginning to understand more how we play, how we go about our business. So we have some competition at that position.
How invigorating to be in a pennant race, so to speak, or does this all pale in comparison to what's next?
Oh, I think the real stuff starts when the playoffs start. Our race is kind of over. I know we're still looking for that number one spot. You got to be really careful as far as a focus. I just look at it differently.
Right.
The biggest thing is you just want your team playing as fast and as quick and feeling good about themselves when you enter playoffs. It's sometimes a tough thing when you clinch with a number of games left to really try to keep that going, and that's my responsibility right now. Some of the games coming up here, some really good competition.
Right.
The results are important, obviously, but I want to judge our team on how we're playing. That's the most important thing as we head to playoffs.
You've been a day at a time kind of guy all year.
Yeah.
It'd be really easy right now to look at what's coming up after Thursday, but boy, this team you're playing tomorrow night's been on a roll.
Yes, and it's a fast team. It's a team that I think's playing with no pressure on them at all. Everybody left them for dead out there,
right,
and they just kept on playing. It allows players to play. They feel loose. Kind of an underdog. We're not, people left us out there. We weren't even going to get in. Let's take a run at this. I think that type of attitude makes it easy for players to play. And they've been a good team. They're well coached, and they're fast. We got our hands full when we go in there tomorrow night.
You've talked about how much this reminds you of your Tampa experience. Just as a veteran coach in your States, for so many of these guys, this is a whole new thing. How just exciting is that as a coach to see young players with so much potential going through this step by
Yeah,
step.
I am. Go to the players. I'm thrilled for the players. They've done a lot of good work this year to give himself an opportunity to play on a stage in playoffs. Then I look at the big picture, with so many of them being so young, to have it happen so quickly. For some of them, some of the guys you played around. A couple of them played around a few years ago, but to be involved in this and really go through a learning process right now of what you have to do. I'm still sure some guys don't know what to do in this situation when you're in and you lose yourself a little bit, but you got to get yourself ready because you just can't turn it on and off. Even that situation is really good for these players. But I'm thrilled for the organization too, because I think this is an organization that's, and I'm still fairly new in it, it's on the right road. What's going on down in the minors, what went on there last year, and some of the other guys coming, some of the picks that aren't even in there in Cleveland yet, that are in their respective areas, it's really encouraging where this organization is. So we can't miss any steps of the process as we do this. When you have some good things happen to you, as they've happened to us this year, and if you have some struggles along the way, don't blow yourself up. And if it keeps on going well, understand the process. Don't miss any steps of the process and skip some because you think you've got all the answers, because you don't. And so we got to stay with this to lay the right foundation so we can be competitive for a long time.
You're probably fascinated to see how some of these young guys are going to handle the playoffs.
Yeah, I am. We're going to have fun. I want them to have fun. I'm not changing our schedule when the playoffs come. I'm not changing how we prepare. I'm not going to put a cloud of we're here. I just want them to go in there feeling good about themselves, and I want them to have a blast and allow them to play. I think that's really important with this group here, and I think that's how they play best, is not overcoach and allow them to experience it and see where we go.
John, you spoke last night about maybe how you weren't as impressed with the offense. When we spoke to some of the players, they were saying that the youth, a lot of that, but you mentioned that you saw some of the key offensive players maybe not. Could it be both? Is it both the things?
Oh yeah. It is. We can blame a lot of things when you have a young team and you have a struggle. You always say, we're young." I think sometimes it's a self-fulfilling prophecy when you keep on saying that. We've gone through a year with this team, so we have some experience within the club. I just think some of our key guys, and it really starts with our power play, is that, and that's a lot about today's practice, was just to let them to touch the puck in enclosed areas and feel good about making a couple of plays. I think that's where our offense is going to grow. It's interesting. We break the tape down. They had 40-plus shots. We gave up 11 scoring chances. Very deceiving game that way. So I thought we defended well, and when we didn't, we had a lot of, I call them save the day plays, where a guy gets a great stick on a play and saves the day on that particular play. But we just didn't generate enough offense, and it's certainly the responsibility of our top guys to get ourselves into a little bit of a flow offensively. So no panic. It's just about working at it and trying to get better, and hope we can have it come through here.
You talked about getting Murray back on the ice as soon as he could. Has he skated yet?
No, he's had a couple other issues. We can't get him on there. We want to make sure really with his hand.
Yeah.
So we're waiting for the clearance from the doc, and just so we don't set him back in that type of situation. But it's going to be a little time with him, but it's going to give us enough time to skate him, and I think so he doesn't lose his conditioning.
Yeah.
But you can't do it, because if he falls, you don't want him to redo that. We got to be really careful and not get selfish with that.